It is Thursday. It's the 18th of July. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Our top stories today. Last year, he wanted her dead. Now he wants her to come home. A top Taliban commander is reaching out to Malala Yousafzai, inviting her to return to Pakistan. The teenage girl was shot in the head on the way back from her school in the Swat Valley. A letter attributed to Taliban leader Adnan Rashid says she was not targeted because she went to school, as ITN's Kylie Morris reports.
A Dear Malala letter from her Taliban attackers.
ITN's Kylie Morris reporting there. North Korea is demanding the release of the cargo ship and crew seized earlier this week in Panama. The North Korean Foreign Ministry says Panamanian authorities rashly attacked the vessel and its crew. The ship had been traveling from Cuba when it was seized and inspected for a suspected drugs shipment. Instead, investigators found undeclared Soviet-era military equipment underneath a cargo of sugar. And the weapons discoveries just keep on coming. Mei Lee reports from on board the seized vessel.
The intense search of North Korea's Chongcheon-gang cargo ship continues.
Well, Cuba says the weapons were meant to be repaired and updated in North Korea and then returned to Cuba. The supply of most weapons to North Korea is banned under UN sanctions. Well, from the South Korean capital, Seoul, Ian Lee joins us now live. And Ian, so we understand that the crew, the 35-member crew of this North Korean ship, are still in Panamanian custody. The North Koreans are demanding the return of their ship. What else are we saying? I guess in terms of what else do we know about what the North Koreans are capable of in terms of this repair work that the Cubans are suggesting that they were supposed to do?
Well, Monita, what we understand is this is kind of technology that the North Koreans are...
Ian, thank you for that. Ian Lee reporting to us there live from Seoul. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Coming up, the weather is dangerously hot on both sides of the Atlantic. We'll have more on that coming up. Stay with us. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. The headmistress of the Indian school that serves students poisoned lunches is on the run. 22 children died and 24 others are still in hospital after eating the tainted food. Police want to question the school principal and her husband. Sumnima Udas joins us now on the phone from the state of Bihar in India with the latest on that. Sumnima.
Monita, we're just at the village school, actually, where the tragic incident took place.
One of the other stories that we're following for you here at CNN News Center, a Russian dissident has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. The popular opposition figure and outspoken critic of President Vladimir Putin, Alexei Navalny, was convicted of embezzlement. His trial had been denounced by human rights activists as a move to silence dissenting voices in Russia. Germany's finance minister Wolfgang Schäuble has arrived in Athens. Schäuble is expected to offer Greece more than $100 million for a fund to help get its economy back on its feet. Afghan officials say insurgents have gunned down 8 day laborers on their way to work at a U.S. base. The attack happened in Logar province in eastern Afghanistan. The Taliban recently began targeting Afghans who work for government or NATO forces. And the wait for Kate's baby goes on. The world's media are camped outside a London hospital, but they may all have to hot-foot it to nearby Reading. If at least 6 people have died as temperatures soar in the northeast of the country. Further west in California, thousands of people were evacuated Wednesday as wildfires hit a mountain town. And no escape for their neighbors across the Atlantic. Hot weather warnings have also been issued in the UK. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that heat, that transatlantic heat, and see if any relief may be in sight. Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center with those details. Hi, Mari.
Hello, Monita. You know, when we talk about a cool down this time of year, it just means maybe temperatures won't be as hot, but it is...
Goodness, Mari, thank you very much for that. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. A cover usually reserved for rock stars displays an accused terrorist. Coming up, why Rolling Stone magazine is catching flack for its choice of cover story. We'll have more on that coming up. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. The latest issue of Rolling Stone magazine has triggered a public outcry in the United States. Instead of the usual rock star on its cover, it features a man charged with murder and using a weapon of mass destruction. Brian Todd reports.
He's got the hair, the same brooding demeanor, but Jahar Tsarnaev isn't Jim Morrison, and there's palpable outrage that Rolling Stone magazine image of Charles Manson in 1970. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.
Nelson Mandela turns 95 today. Celebrations are underway outside the hospital where the former South African president is being treated for a lung infection since June. And Kapili, thank you very much for that. And Kapili Mabuse there in Pretoria. You are watching CNN News Center. I'm Monita Rajpal live at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. I'll update you the news headlines in just a few minutes.